Hello, good afternoon and welcome to Cinch Stadium at Franklin's Gardens for Inter-Services Rugby 2026. As the band starts up, you've got to remember, of course, that the championships got underway last night with the RAF Vultures beating the Royal Navy Mariners 10-15, but we've got a double header of dark blue versus light blue action here this afternoon. The women are up first. Let's take a look at what happened in last year's tournament.
These players will be wanting to write their names into the history books no matter what today. Up like a flash, Lucy Nye, look at that from Kim Grundy. That's absolutely fantastic from the left winger from the Royal Air Force, and celebrating there just ahead of the posts. And here they come, Fahy again, and she's straight through for another try. Daisy Fahy, a resounding win for the Royal Air Force by 36 points to 10. The Navy will be hoping to bounce back from their 36-10 defeat to the Royal Air Force in the opening match in Northampton 2 weeks ago as they enter the fray this afternoon. That's power going through to the try line there, and the first try, Manukalu Komitai for the British Army. Courtney Pursglove get there, she can indeed. Right through Pursglove.
They've got to get going forward when they've got that possession.
And that's picked right off there. Deserved winners today, 96 points to 0, a record victory for the British Army. Just inches away now from the try line, and they've scored. British Army back inside, and brilliant stuff from the number 8. What a game she has had so far, and what a game the British Army has had.
Yeah. The British Army then victorious again in the women's tournament. So what can the opposition offer up 12 months on? The RAF are largely underchained. After last year's results, there needed to be some big changes in the Royal Navy women's line. That's in the services to find out where teams are at.
I'm expecting a really dominant scrum. Their forwards are pretty class. I think that their back three as well, with Jazz in. I saw that she was running a couple of hard lines against the French Navy the other week, so I think that she's always going to be a threat with her line speed and just footwork.
It's really important that, you know, our leadership group is strong and that they're helping the new girls on as well. It's not just down to Lucy and Daisy, but they've got great personalities. They spur the team on really well, and that's why they're in them roles.
This is the best time of the year, really. I think you can feel it in camp that everyone's starting to get excited.
Northampton's lovely. It's such a nice pitch, a huge stadium. The crowd was great as well, so if we can get a big crowd down there again this time, it's only going to spur the girls on more to put a good performance out.
Nobody likes losing close to 100 points to nil, and it's that nil, right? You know, not scoring a try against the Army hurt these girls. And the question I asked them when I took over the role, do you want things to change? And every answer was yes. And it wasn't just a sedentary yes, it was, please help us, we want to do this. So as soon as you get that buy-in from the players, that you know you're onto a winner, and I get that every single day that I turn up to camp.
The girls are all absolutely buzzing for this game, really, really excited. For some players, it might be their first time playing the RAF. They don't know what to expect, and I think that's really, really good. We're all really, really excited, and I think for a lot of us it's always our favourite game.
It has to be over a few years. It's not just going to change overnight. We know we've got work to do. We know we've got to attract better players into the Navy to do that as well, because the Army do it very well and the RAF do it very well. So we have to deliver that brand of rugby, and that starts here. So like I say, it's not going to happen overnight, but the plan is a 2-3 year process, and everybody's bought into that plan.
I think that we've done really well to keep the same faces around that we've had before, and that player retention is something that I think we're quite proud of. Having Rose Dixon move from being captain to club captain has been really, really important for that, because it just keeps a little bit of continuity. And then having some younger, fresh faces in camp makes it a bit different and a bit exciting as well.
So it's all to play for again here at Northampton as the Inter-Services starts here for the second year in a row, this famous ground. We're just moments away from commentary, so time to introduce our commentary team. Today we're just moments away from kick-off, I should have said. And the commentary team is led by Simon Hunter from BFBS, and he's joined by England legend Rocky Clark and Army stalwart Charlie Maxwell.
It's the Battle of the Blues for the opening salvo as the Inter-Service Rugby Union Championships return for 2026. Spring has sprung and rivalries are renewed between these proud services, who both watched on as the Army won last year's competition. But it's the Royal Navy and Royal Air Force who have the chance to lay down the gauntlet on this first weekend of action. Women's military rugby has seen a surge in new recruits, given the positive influence of the World Cup last autumn and the ongoing Six Nations. As well as that, the International Defence Rugby competition held late last summer adds intrigue to the encounter. For those Navy and Air Force players who lined out in UCAF purple, how much knowledge of those games will they take into this clash? Well, it's something of a new era for the Royal Navy, with change at the top. A new head coach in Jez Parsons and Ellie Brightwell taking on the mantle of skipper. While for the RAF, it's a case of welcoming back experienced players in Annie Forbes, Kat Robinson and Sarah Graham Jenkins. And I'm delighted to say, alongside me in commentary today, it's a case of welcoming back the wonderful rugby legends Rocky Clark and Charlie Maxwell with me. Rocky, first of all, beautiful sunshine, Cinch Stadium here. What an atmosphere it's going to be.
It's absolutely cracking, and the band is going really well, and everyone's walking in. It's going to be a great day. Loads of fans coming in. Can't wait.
And Charlie, for these two sides, it's nice to get involved in the first weekend of action, not having to wait on to see how it goes. A chance to lay down that marker in the competition as well.
Yeah, definitely. Inter-Services this year following the normal routine of Army, Navy and RAF playing first. And absolutely, these two teams will be biting at the bit ultimately to get the game going and get the competition underway.
And just how much will that leadership influence the preparations of the Royal Navy? Jez Parsons coming in, Ellie Brightwell as well, of course wanting to make their own stamp really on the style that's played today, Charlie, but you know, how much will that also provide them with that little bit of boost as well in terms of energy levels?
Yeah, we've just been chatting with the RAF Director of Rugby, and she's been going through the squad with us, explaining there. Actually, they've had a really interesting selection period for this fixture, and some of the old and bold potentially not making the cut this time round. Many different reasons for that, but it shows the class that the RAF have now got within their pool of players, that they can bring in new caps and put on such a strong squad, even with those in the background waiting for the next game.
Well, it's a good start, Rocky. Last year for the Royal Air Force, winning that first encounter, 36-10 here at Cinch Stadium in Northampton against the Royal Navy. Disappointment then when they went on to Kingsholm and took on the Army, who eventually won the competition down in Gloucester. But I tell you what, it's been interesting to see just the experience that's come back into that squad. We're hearing Kat Robinson, who will be playing in the number 8 shirt today, lining out for her 21st cap and the most experienced inter-service Royal Air Force player. I mean, to call on her services and Annie Forms as well, coming at that back row, back from injury, is pretty special, isn't it?
Yeah, Kat Robinson, incredible player, great carrier, just gets you on the front foot, physical, and she's been out and come back and been such an asset to this team. The ability that she can just bring this back row alive. You've got obviously throw in the new cap and then Forbes as well. This back row's something special. 9 Fahey in that 9-10 position. They're really going to look to try and control this game off of that front foot ball.
And important just looking at that Navy pack as well today during those warm-ups and seeing the line out, seeing the scrum forming as well. They've got some changes in there as well in the Royal Navy side. Lake of Swain moving into the front row. Absolutely crucial that they get ball moving forward against a very strong Royal Air Force pack.
It is, and something that they really needed to work on was their set piece and their rucking, and I saw them already in the warm-up going through their rucking, getting tight, getting speed over ball, because the opposition back row are going to be dangerous, and a couple of players really who are going to stand out. I think Honeybell, somebody you want to look out for, Swain, Shaw, Wilcox, Brightwell, obviously bringing her leadership as well into this, and of course Dixon and Abel, who are like a phenomenal outfit, great athletes, and if they can really combine today and get some decent ball on that front foot, we can see some great things.
And it's a bit of a luxury in a way, isn't it? Looking at that Royal Air Force side, talking about the likes of Forbes and Robinson in that back row, having Ella Froe make her debut at number 6, well, it's going to be absolutely fantastic for her to have them outside her, just making that start and seeing how they do it. I mean, it's a great chance for her to lay down a mark or two in that blindside shirt. Absolutely.
You know, you have that the wealth and experience around you, but for you to come in and make sure that you can bring, you want her to have that confidence in her ability, what's got her here, and she's been one earmarked to really stand out today.
And Charlie Maxwell, something that's going to be an interesting tussle as well is in midfield. We know Orla Proctor is going to line out with Sarah Graham-Jenkins for the Royal Air Force, and an interesting move from Jez Parsons in the Navy, bringing Jas Abel from the back 3, and we saw her exploits for UCAF last summer in the 15 shirt, in the 14 shirt as well. Moving into outside centre today, so it's going to be interesting to see how that midfield battle goes.
Yeah, definitely. I think the Navy, it'll be interesting how they react in the first sort of 10-20 minutes of this fixture after their game against the French recently, and what changes have come in after that and why. So that first 10-15 minutes will really set the ground for this game in that midfield area.
And Jez Parsons recently speaking to us and mentioning that it's a 2 or 3 year project in his eyes, getting this team, you know, improving and performing to the level that they really want to do in terms of the style as well that they want to play. How important is it for them not to heap too much pressure on themselves come the first game of this new regime? Extremely.
I think, dare I say it, on a day like today, the sun is out, the pitch looks amazing. Northampton Saints have really prepared a fantastic turf for this game. I think for me that then means it plays into, quite frankly, the RAF's gameplay. So I think for the Navy, they need to concentrate on the small wins and actually focus on what are they targeting in this game and stay on to that during the game, because I think it's going to be a hard shift for them, and keeping that psychological strength when they're under the cosh from the RAF. So I think that's really important if it's year 1 in a 3-year programme for the coaching team to keep the players mentally focused on what their targets are for the game.
And he was describing it as essentially unforgivable, playing so much game in their 22 last year, which allowed the Army and the Royal Air Force in this corresponding fixture in 2025 just to roll over them, really, when it came to that red zone. You know, when we see the likes of Daisy Fahey at 10 and Sarah Graham-Jenkins with her boot as well at 12, that pressure is going to be on the Royal Navy today to show that they've developed that exit game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can watch last year's game either way round and go, well, actually the Navy defence was excellent to keep the RAF out. However, absolutely, do not play in your red zone. If you've got the chance to get rid, that's what the Navy need to be concentrating on. And then playing more in the midfield areas of the park, where actually they can have a game against the RAF, but giving the RAF space on a day like today is going to be critical to block that.
Someone who Rocky Clark will be wanting plenty of space is Kim Grundy in the light blue shirt at 15 today. We saw what she did last year, that beautiful breakaway try against the Royal Navy. You give her a bit of space and you could be in trouble.
Yeah, she's absolutely deadly, so watch out for her. She's a great runner. It's a massive pitch. She's rapid. She's such a threat with ball in hand. They're going to have to try their best to make sure she doesn't get her hands on the ball. But any loose kicks, she's going to be there.
The players lining out for the national anthem, and a warm reception from the crowd. Looking healthy already here at Cinch Stadium at Franklin's Gardens in Northampton. And a quick look at the sides today, beginning with the Royal Navy. Ellie Brightwell captaining at number 8, Josie Parnaby starting vice-captain at scrum half, and Cheryl Goodwin putting on the number 10 shirt. Exciting pace in the back line through Jas Abel, who switches from back 3 to outside centre, and Flo Mullett was there. Plenty of pace with the experienced Rose Dixon in midfield inside centre. Turning to the Royal Air Force, currently in a huddle as they prepare for kick-off. Well, they've packed their side with plenty of experience. The nucleus of Kat Robinson at number 8, coming back today for her 21st inter-service cap. Record breaker for the Royal Air Force. Lucy Nye at 9, captain as well, and fly-half Daisy Fahu scored a brace in this corresponding fixture last year. Sarah Graham-Jenkins at 12, and then you look to Harlequins back, Orla Proctor at outside centre, and Kim Grundy. Can she do the business for her side again today with some broken play and open space? We're just seconds away from kick-off. It's great to have you with us live on the BFBS Forces News YouTube channel from Northampton. Do let us know through the game where you're watching as Daisy Fahy with her big boot gets that underway. And a mistake already not gathered cleanly by the Royal Navy. The ref saying that went forward. Lucy Nye gets early hands on the ball, and that multicoloured scrum cap of Tyler Lewis barging her way towards the 22. Coming out again, Fahy looking Sarah Graham-Jenkins just a bit behind her. Gathered in by Grundy. Now assessing her options as Forbes piles in back from injury. Lewis again. The Royal Air Force putting pressure fairly on here against the Royal Navy. Penalty advantage as well. Trying to find that space out wide, the Royal Air Force. And the ref calls them back for the penalty. And the Royal Navy duly march back.
That's one thing Navy need to work on, is just doing the basics well. You know, when you're coaching kids, you want them to be standing sideways in case the ball gets tapped. It gets tapped back, so you don't give that knock on. But just on the back foot already. And I think the Navy really need to get some line speed, try and hit them behind the gain line. But when you've got carriers such as Tyler Lewis just bowling through, getting her hands on the ball, and the quick ball from Nye and Fahy, it's going to be a tough day.
And Charlie, Jez Parsons spoke about how they've sharpened their basics in the Navy side, but when you've got the boot of Daisy Fahy ready to pounce, Sarah Graham-Jenkins as well, as Fahy lines up the penalty attempt, well, you can't afford to make those mistakes.
No, absolutely. And as Rocky says, you know, straight from the kickoff, the Navy have put themselves under pressure, and the RAF, the level they're playing at, they will pounce all over that. Sadly, it's not going to be the 18 minutes last year that the Navy kept a clean sheet, I don't think.
Fahy successful with her penalty attempt, and the Royal Air Force go 3-0 up in the very early stages of this match against the Royal Navy. Ellie Brightwell marching her side back to halfway, and the early question being asked of the Royal Navy in defence. Royal Air Force not really needing to utilise their backs too much. Tyler Lewis, as was mentioned, piling forward there and prompting the error as Goodwin gets ready to kick off. Ball comes bouncing through for Sinead Skillen. He dummies and gets rid of the challenge from Brightwell. Trying to place that back cleanly. Graham Jenkins putting that ball down midfield. And well followed up by the Royal Air Force. Parnaby now. Delivery out to Laker Swain in the front row today. And that ball not bouncing kindly for Rose Dixon, but she cleans up. Dixon, skipper in last year's campaign. Moved from 10 to 12. And that's fierce from Annie Forbes. Expect nothing less from her, from what we've seen over the years. And the ball goes behind Flo Mullett. Plenty of pace, but not of the balls coming into her hands. And Royal Air Force looking to exert that pressure, pushing the Navy back. But it's the Navy ball. What can they do as they go through the phases here? Goodwin with pressure on her. Puts that ball into the RAF backfield, and a little fumble as the referee Swart says it's been knocked on.
Well, initially off that kickoff there was some really good defence. We had it was Holly Cole flying up in defence, and then Brightwell as well getting hold of Fahey. So they got him on that back foot, forced a poor kick back, but then I think there was an opportunity for White as she went to the far side. Could she got that ball away perhaps? And then you just saw the RAF roll their sleeves up, get some line speed and push them back. But good for the Navy to get set piece on that halfway.
Josie Parnaby, vice-captain today for the Royal Navy, spoke of the excitement in the squad in this new era for them. Jasmine Abel, an early look at her in the 13 shirt. Moving forward are the Navy. Trying to punch a hole in that light blue defence as Dixon looks for the wide pass to get it out to Holly Cole. And nice footwork from Cole. But it's been wrestled back, and that's very, very nice work indeed from Kat Robinson. Ball goes back on the Navy side, but just a sign there at the ferocity of the Royal Air Force at the breakdown.
Yeah, we just saw White manage to get through. Just wonder if a little hand off, and I think Cole strong carries. A good steal from Robinson, but Navy were able to get back and shove her into touch.
Vociferous support for both sides on this near side of the pitch as the ball loops towards Brightwell. Goes to ground, but is there to distribute. Royal Air Force doing their best just to spoil any time that the Navy have on the ball here as they go through phases. And that's not ideal delivery for Goodwin, but she puts in a chip, trying to bisect three players as Grundy looks to use footwork, but we go back for the Royal Navy penalty.
I think it's an interesting demonstration of the Navy and their attack at the moment. That's twice they've actually kicked the ball to the RAF. Twice the RAF have actually made a mistake on collection. I just wonder if that's them showing their intent of actually learning from the French game, learning from this game last year, and actually tactically pushing the ball forward rather than fighting in their own 22. It's interesting. I've not really seen that from the Navy before.
Yeah, it makes a stark change.
I think you can see the influence that Jez has had on Parsons on this team, and how when they're carrying that year, you've got the likes of Wilcox really leg driving, Swain, Brightwell, and there's the latch as well, and that's something I highlighted last year, that they really, to get that front foot ball, they need to get bodies pushing through, quicker rucks. Obviously now it's going to be sorting out the set piece.
Amy Pusick not successful with that line out attempt as Lucy Nye tries to come around the corner and find space in the wing. And Longworth in the scrum cap tries to clean up for the light blues. Tyler Lewis lining out again, looking to take that ball. Back to Fahey. He's got some distance on this ball. And a bounce that pushes the Navy players right back in the backfield. Lucy Nye coming onto that, just coming off the shins and into touch there. Totally a Royal Navy line out.
Great tactics there. White just clearing her lines under a little bit of pressure. Massive boot again from Fahey, and then just getting rubber the green as it bounces off. Nice feet, but they need to execute this line out.
In it comes cleanly as well to Rowan Sinclair. Goodwin distributes. Beth Wilcox on the blind side, but shunted back by the Royal Air Force. Once again contesting through Annie Forbes. Not her first rodeo, Annie Forbes. One of the Royal Air Force players victorious in the 2019 edition of this competition. And the ball is put into touch off the boot of Cheryl Goodwin.
So you can see that kicking game coming in, but it's got to be done, and the execution has got to be right with that. That will be disappointing. Obviously, come back in line from where it was kicked out because it went straight out. So they weren't in the 22 when she kicked it. You can really see that kicking game coming into their toolbox.
Jenna Lee Hughes into the line-out, but that's gone forward off the hands of Forbes. And Leica Swain coming round the side. Baby Rhino, as she's affectionately called by her teammates, showing her power really there. Once again, Beth Wilcox trying to burst through that defence. Sinclair in the second row today, often seen last year in the back row. Versatile player in the pack. Brightwell. Good tackle there from Freya Gracie. Back it comes. And charged down this time off the boot of Goodwin. Collected by Jazz Abel. Not much space to work with for those dancing feet. Parnaby trying to collect. Swain. Shipping it out to Fern Maya White. Dixon this time. Taken back by two Royal Air Force defenders. Ball coming over the top. Once again, finding a little bit of space. How kind will the bounce be to the Royal Air Force players? Longworth. Ball going back off her hands. And seeing a little gap opening up in midfield. Lucy Nye, how quick a service can she get here? And the Royal Navy have done well to try and wrestle that back at the breakdown. Very nice work from them. Parnaby showing some tricks and some skills. It's the Royal Air Force who earned the penalty.
It's clear the Navy have been working on their kicking game, but I think so far they've used it at least 5 times, and we're, 15 minutes into the game. So I think they need to be careful to mix it up to make sure they actually bring the RAF in to create that space, and then once it's on, kick it wide. Otherwise, they're potentially putting themselves under pressure. So, for example, the line out that happened down here, that kick didn't need to go. Actually bring it in, tighten it up, create the space, and then potentially go for the kick or go for the line.
Well, we're just watching as the medics come on. Some players, Longworth there, receiving some attention, and it's a good afternoon to John Knighton, wherever you are in the world. As we said earlier, let us know where you're watching live in the BFBS Forces News YouTube channel. What have you got for us, John?
Yeah, cheers. Thanks, Si. A great afternoon already here at Northampton. Loads of messages coming in, of course, right across on our social media, and keep them coming in on Facebook and on YouTube. Special mention going to Rowan Sinclair. Have a great game today. Love from Mum and Dad up in Moray. Ian Smith says, good luck, the RAF. Come on, EL, says Harrison. And go on, Rach, you're the woman, says Wilkie47. And keep those messages coming in. Go on, Navy, get into them, says Wilkie47 as well. And there's a bit of banter going on already between the two. Can tell you that England already leading Scotland by 7 points to 0. They have already, Ellie Keldan has scored a try already. We're keeping a close eye, of course, on our own Amy Cockayne, who's obviously playing for England.
Brilliant, John. Thank you very much. Do keep those comments coming in through the day. It's always great to hear from you, wherever you may be, whether it's down the road in Northampton or somewhere overseas. We love to hear from you. Daisy Fahey putting that ball down into the corner for the Royal Air Force, getting as close as she can with the penalty. An opportunity for that pack, if they can gather cleanly here at the line out. which they do through Forbes. And the rolling mole comes through. And shouts of heave coming as well from their supporters, and the forwards trying to break through. Real test for that Navy defence. Just a few metres from the line. It's Emily Russell this time for the Royal Air Force. Trying to surge over. Have they got that grounding? Referee keeping such a close eye. Nye now looking up for space. Out to Fahy. And Orla Proctor coming through. The ball going forward off the hands. And disappointment there for the Royal Air Force on that occasion.
Showing some great work and just that skill execution at the end. Space is on. Maybe just took her eyes off it. But back for the scrum. Another good position for the RAF, who are putting pressure on the Navy. Navy had a really good scrum previously on the halfway, so can they make that stick on this one?
Navy trying to exert as much pressure as they could there. Telling on Proctor. Orla Proctor, Harlequins player. Very important for UCAF as well last summer at the IDRC. Here comes Dixon. Makes a bit of ground as well for her side. It's been enterprising from the Royal Navy so far. Trying to add some impetus at the breakdown, and Goodwin, not for the first time today, putting the boot in and clearing that ball into touch around about the 22 mark.
I'm finding it a really interesting game, actually, with the pressure that the RAF are putting on the Navy, but the Navy defence is holding very well. They are making good tactical decisions. Clearly, I mentioned the kicking earlier, but actually, the Navy are soaking up the pressure from the RAF, which is good to see.
Here it comes once more. That rolling mole gets another chance to show its prowess for the Royal Air Force. Well, maybe want to have something to say about that as well, as Graham Jenkins lines out first receiver. And Proctor this time. Fahy trying to juggle that. Ball has gone backwards. Moving out nicely to Grundy this time. Stepping inside and then out. Getting it through the hands. Ella Froh on her debut in that blindside shirt. Now as well, nice quick ball, Emily Russell. Out it comes the backs once more, and Fahy looking at her options outside. Orla Proctor is there, hunted down by Flo Mullett. Looking to change up the angle of attack. Jenna Lee Hughes bundled back. The Royal Air Force still have it. Still they go through the forwards, the light blues. And coming quickly now, just inches away from that whitewash. Can they score the first try of this match right now? Tyler Lewis bundling through, the referee putting his arm up, and it's the Royal Air Force who score first over the try line in this game.
Tyler Lewis absolutely bowling onto that ball. She's a big athlete, and you've just got to try and get underneath her, because you're not going to stop her from getting over the try line. But if you can get underneath her and hold her up, but that was brilliant. She's carried so well so far. And quick burst from Robinson. You can see that Navy are just trying to slow down the breakdown. A couple of little counter rucks coming in, but not enough to stop Lewis.
She's been ever present today, Tyler Lewis. And as a ball carrier, she's just shown her power. As Fahy lines up for the extra 2 points. Through the upright it goes, and it's 10 points to 0. The Royal Air Force lead the Royal Navy here at Cinch Stadium at Franklin's Gardens in Northampton. Just under 20 minutes played in this match. And they'll be delighted for all the pressure that they've tried to exert, the Royal Air Force in the Navy 22. They've managed to convert on this occasion. A try for Tyler Lewis.
Opportunity here for Navy to get some territory with a decent kick-off and a good chase. We've seen Dixon and Abel get the ball in tight spaces. They just need a little bit more though. Can they get possession back and play off of quick ball? That's when they're going to really be asking questions.
Just a momentary pause in proceedings, and the crowd building nicely here. Of course, the second year this first fixture in the inter-services has been held at Cinch Stadium in Northampton. And Lake Swain just coming off. Looks like a bit of a nosebleed there. Let's get some medical attention. An important cog in the wheel of that Royal Navy pack is Lake Swain, both attack and defence. And Rachel Marley comes on to replace her as Goodwin gets that kickoff underway into the hands of Tyler Lewis, picking up from where she left off just a minute or so ago with the ball in her hand. Maybe doing their best to try and push back that light blue line. Back to Fahey it goes. Keenly watched by Flo Mullett, over her head and end over end into touch.
Great demonstration there of the RAF. Just the mistake made out in the midfield. No one panicked. The ball was calm. Forwards got the ball back, and a clean kick by Fahey. And it just sort of demonstrates you've really got to put pressure on the RAF to make those mistakes. The Navy need to be up much quicker to be able to capitalise on those. Otherwise, the RAF are going to be literally what they're doing, clearing their space back into the Navy half of the pitch and straight back under pressure again.
Referee saying that line-out wasn't straight. And a mistake from the Royal Navy.
It feels like it's the simple mistakes at the moment in this game that's letting the sort of the side down. There's some interesting tactical decisions being made, and that's, for me, that's a real development of this women's fixture. They're actually starting to play the tactics of rugby and demonstrate they've got the skills, but it's the basic skills that are still lacking, sadly.
Seeing the intent that's there, you alluded to it, Charlie. Ball coming off the boot of Cheryl Goodwin many times in this first half so far, and something that really was lacking last year. Jess Bryan being the principal kicker from the pack, I think, at times in the inter-services. And speaking of kickers, Fahey getting the ball through to her back line, and that's very quick from Nye once again. Looking for that space, putting a little grubber in behind. Longworth and Grundy tearing after that ball. Grundy trying to get in front of Josie Parnaby. The ball coming back in the Royal Air Force side. Parnaby doing her best to poach it. But Annie Forbes spotting a bit of a gap. Forbes. Hard to take down is Forbes. Just inches from that line once more. A chance for a second here. The Royal Air Force, Jenna Lee Hughes, as she got over the line. Just short, trying to pile over. Another try. The Royal Air Force go back to back in this match. And the pressure telling on the Royal Navy defence.
That was a great breakthrough, wasn't it? And it was Grundy who got the ball back, and then able just to pounce. They're playing off a really quick ball, couple of picks and drives forward. Forbes, and then once again that pack power over.
High fives and drinks all around, getting that water on board the Royal Air Force. Starting to develop quite a nice cushion here. 15 points to 0 at the moment as Fahey lines up to attempt the conversion. Yet another successful attempt for Daisy Fahey. Royal Navy 0, Royal Air Force 17, with just over 20 minutes played in this first inter-service clash of 2026 at Cinch Stadium in Northampton. great to have you along with us live on the BFBS Forces News YouTube channel. Real pleasure to have your company today. Do let us know where you're watching. We'll endeavour to give you a shout out somewhere along the line as well. As that ball made 10 metres. Just coming through, and Flo Mullet taking your opportunity very nicely. Jasmine Abel just outside her. Well, Air Force will be wary not to give her too much space today. Oh, the bar of soap just slipping through the legs there. Back it comes round Sinclair. It's her 10th cap for the Royal Navy and the Inter-Services. Good win to the new skipper, Ellie Brightwell.
Just look at the speed of the breakdown and how fast they're getting the ball out. When they get it out quick, they get little breaks like this, but just forced into touch. When you get somebody like Honeybell putting real pace and Brightwell putting pace onto the ball, you need to go quick again. You've got them against the ropes, but you have to take that opportunity, not slow it down, because the defence are just going to get up.
That's very nice work from Evie Longworth, but a penalty for the Royal Navy. Goodwin looking to touch and gain as much ground as she can here with that right boot. Bathe and sunshine the ground here. Some Northampton Saints fans in as well. Those not necessarily connected to either of these sides. Just here to watch the quality that is on show. And a little chip through by Lucy Nye. Barnaby, her opposite number, she chases down earnestly. Ella Froh on debut. And Graham Jenkins, and that's well taken by Orla Proctor. Very, very nice indeed. Summing up the space just outside her. That's very, very nice from the Royal Air Force, exploiting that space perfectly. And Hannah McCabe on debut, scoring a try just off the left wing.
Outstanding finish by McCabe. Absolute wheels as she goes in, but it was that turnover ball. Great carry from Froh. Just drew in the player, got the ball out. Couple of quick passes. Proctor beautifully timed, and then just put away the speedster. McCabe, as she goes over on her debut, absolute one for the memory bank there.
Yeah, it's a glorious demonstration of the RAF backs. Well, the RAF 15, to be fair, all 15. The forwards getting the turnover at the line out. Sadly, it's another mistake by the Navy that actually allowed them in. But that's from there, almost their 22, straight across the other side of the pitch, moving it through the hands and straight into the far corner. The Navy, I feel, was slow to actually understand they'd lost the ball, but clearly the RAF were on the ascendancy and had the ball in hand and had the space. But I think the Navy just need to be slightly quicker, and that comes of where the ball is and what's happened.
Another 2 points for the Royal Air Force. That conversion adding to yet another score. Starting to pull away here at Cinch Stadium. 24 points to 0 they lead. 26 minutes played in this inter-service clash. They're really asking big questions now of not just the defence of the Royal Navy, but also the resilience as well. And Brightwell first up towards halfway. What can she summon from her troops here?
Yeah, we were talking before the game about that mental resilience for the Navy, and actually those targets, and now more than ever is when the leadership need to kick in and actually bring the girls back, bring the players back, remind them of what their targets are for this game, because certainly with the scoreline as it is and with the conditions as they are, there's a chance that otherwise it's just going to slip and not be a great game.
From Maya White with plenty of pressure on her there.
That was Lucid Prop who'd flown up then. Got a shout out to the front row.
Could have beaming Rocky Clark just beside me right
Freya
now.
Gracie scored a try. First up on the kick chase, Bosch.
Well, penalty for the Royal Navy, but never is Rocky Clark so happy as when she sees that from a prop. Brilliant.
Well, quite often goes under the radar, the work of the front row, so I'm here to certainly shout out to that front row.
Give them some love.
I have to say, I'll back you up on that as well,
Yeah,
Rocky.
good
Absolutely. 2 front row forwards doing the commentary.
Having haven't even spoke that much about scrums yet, have we?
No, I know.
We can bore the deaf to people about going on about bindings and the dark arts.
I have to admit, in the pre-game commentary, when Si came to me and asked me about the midfield, I was slightly shocked.
Coach.
Well, we're just going to go down. Just going to go down pitch side now. It's Kath Brazier, a very special guest alongside.
Jez, I know it's not an easy standpoint with quite a deficit that they've accrued already, but can you see any positives in what the girls, any of the stuff you've done in training that they're bringing out today?
Do you know what? When we get through our phase plays quite nicely, it looks good. Like, we're moving it into our, we're shifting it from 10 and we're getting into the middle of the field where their weakest defence is. But we're just making really silly mistakes at the minute. You know, we're not in the right place at the right time when it comes to receiving kicks.
And so that'll be, half-time chat. I'm sure you're thinking about that now. What sort of team have you got there? What sort of personality do they react to best?
We've got some real senior players there that will get a grip of the girls, hopefully. And just some calm heads. We don't need to panic. Yes, the score is totting up nicely for the RAF, but we've got some real positive players coming off the bench as well. We're making a change now just to try and shift some momentum back towards us.
And just finally, this match last year, the Navy did test the RAF and have done in recent times. But we know, and let's reiterate, that you guys very much feel you're in a building phase, and you've got the team to do that with.
Yeah, for sure. And we know that we're in a developing stage, and we've got some good things to come, and hopefully that's in the second half too.
Thanks, Jez. Thanks very much. Cheers.
Now, Josie Parnaby, vice captain for the Royal Navy, has just come off from the scrum half position. Emma Maxwell on in her place as we return to the action. And Goodwin puts that ball into the sky and finds touch as well, but it's gone out on the full. A mistake from her, and go back to the point at which it was kicked.
And that was a bit that Charlie was talking about earlier, like the decision or the execution are two different things, aren't they? It was the right thing to get the kick, but it had to stay in field because it had been passed back across the 22. I mean, you've got to say, the speed of ball from Emma Maxwell getting that back and the zip on it, you could really see some stretched defences here.
It's like deja vu for the Royal Air Force and their rolling mole here. They come piling forward.
Look, you can see Brightwell just trying to get her mitts on it. She's clawing through everything she's fighting for, tooth and nail.
Graham Jenkins taken down by Rose Dixon, her opposite number. Ball's coming out. Annie Forbes again. A good decision from Forbes, just take it to ground and then get the offload away. And lovely from Fahy. That's very nicely done indeed to Kim Grundy. Evie Longworth here. Ref just blows his whistle. Another great attacking opportunity for the Royal Air Force.
Certainly the RAF had the skills that if the Navy don't tackle them cleanly, take the ball and the player. You saw there the fast speed of the offload of the RAF backs and just the space, the absolute speed of ball, speed of hand. They're playing so well today with ball in hand.
And that's it. When you got, I think it was Annie Forbes who came round the corner at real pace, and Navy are just on the back foot, looking at her, gathering momentum. And then that's just shifting back that defensive line, and then that back line, and they're all doing out the back chicken wings to get those passes across.
I've seen you do a couple of them.
Well, I think it's my favourite pass, if I'm honest.
It's a party trick, isn't it, Rocky?
Absolutely.
Jenna Lee Hughes with the ball. Line out's clean. They opt for the maul again. Just dribbles out the side the ball. Daisy Fahy looking to take that down to her near side. Graham Jenkins.
Space if they can move it.
Oh, and taken inside Can Grundy get that ball away? That's very nice defensive work from Flo Mullett. Lucy piercing that ball out there, but it's gone forward off the hands of the light blues, and that'll be a Royal Navy put in.
Let's take a moment of appreciation. I've gone from front row, and the furthest person away from that, Flo Mullett. She has got off her line. She's been super brave in making tackles on Tyler Lewis, and then just managed to get up. There was a 2-on-1 opportunity, and she just smothered the ball, stopped the attack, and that's great work from her.
Great to hear some love for the backs as well. Another change with Leica Swain coming back on. Reverse blood replacement. Cleaned up now and back on the pitch. Very important for the Royal Navy, that tight head shirt. It's been a physical encounter so far, Charlie Maxwell.
Absolutely. I wouldn't expect anything less from these two sides. Navy known for their hard defensive set. RAF also today have been doing really well in that straight line running, tackling, contact situation. It's a good game so far. I know it sounds strange to say that with the scoreline how it is, but actually the game, those tries have been very well worked, but a few breakaway tries really sets the score apart. But actually the teams on the pitch, there's a lot of equal competition. Does that describe it?
I think it does, very succinctly indeed. Well, we're just having another pause in play. The medics coming on once more, and we'll return to John Nyson briefly. John, what have you got for us?
Yeah, lots of mentions from the Falkland Islands. Big shout out to the Falkland Islands Rugby Club who are watching. And Azabaza says, Hannah McCabe, that's my sister. And she's just scored a try, of course. England, by the way, have just scored a 4th try themselves against Scotland. They lead now by 26 points to 0, conversion to come.
Thank you, John, very much. Great to have family, friends and general fans commenting on the live stream. Great to have you with us. BFBS Forces News YouTube. And Rowan Sinclair just coming off. Hopefully nothing more than needing just a bit of treatment there. Olivia Kafoa coming on the field for the Royal Navy. She's been an important player, Rowan Sinclair, for the Navy. Not just in terms of her physical style in that pack, but also her leadership as well.
Yeah, she's got through so much work today, just putting herself in places people don't want to go, just that unseen work from the second row. But once again, Navy having a really good set piece with a scrum. It's been another high tackle, looks like, could be a card.
Referee reaches for his pocket. Yellow card is indeed shown. And Lucy Nye comes running off the pitch. And just a few minutes to go until half time. And Goodwin puts that ball into touch.
So still in the danger area, but they've got to be really nailed on in this line out. Opting for that shorter line out, less opportunities for mistakes here. So they just want to get in, get up and win it. Just managed to get it to the front. Oh, it's a nice carry.
Powering in those Royal Navy forwards. Joe Mullett coming back out of that breakdown. And Goodwin once more, but that ball's gone out in full. And another mistake.
Tell you what, I'd be raging if that ball kept going out. I'd be going up, going, stop kicking it straight out. I'd certainly be making sure that was a lesson learned for sure. But some really good carrying there from Beth Wilcox. She just drove that forward and then once they get that sort of half break, they need to be playing quick off of it. They're slowing it down, letting the RAF get ready to get off the line.
Maybe a player down at the moment for 10 minutes, the Royal Air Force, but another opportunity here, one might feel, for a further try before half-time. Emily Russell bundling forward. Let it come to Tyler Lewis. How good's she been in this first half? Showing all of her strength to edge ever closer to that whitewash. Out it comes, and Hughes darting back inside, but tracked by that defence. However, the referee says it has spilled forward, and it'll be a Royal Navy scrum. We've seen plenty in this match so far. Great tries being scored by the Royal Air Force. Plenty of physicality from both sides. Just a momentary pause before half-time. Royal Air Force leading 24 points to 0. An early penalty from Daisy Fahey. It was 3 points within the first couple of minutes, and they haven't given up their lead at all. They've extended it quite considerably now. I'll be hoping for more of the same in the second half. But another play to come in this first 40.
I'll take the break as a quick opportunity to do a shout out on behalf of the RAF director, who herself is actually part of the RAF police. But we were chatting just before the game, and she was saying they've got 6 RAF policewomen in the squad this season. And really grateful to the Provost Marshal, who's actually fully supporting the RAF, the RAF-RU team ultimately, and what a difference it's made. And at the same point, I'll sort of do a quick shout out as well to Kat Robinson, who's actually today overtaken Michelle Crowler as the most capped RAF-RU women's player. So today, as she ran onto the park, she received her 21st cap for the RAF. And what a fantastic record being passed from Michelle Crowler across to Kat Robinson.
Baby Hugo, I believe, as well, was there this morning. Wonderful to see. Ellie Brightwell coming round the side. They're trying to play off their own try line, the Royal Navy. Royal Air Force trying to hunt them down here. Seconds to go for the interval.
So this is perhaps where a bit of the tactical awareness is. They're trying to get up, I'm thinking, to the 15-metre line, which makes it a lot easier to kick from, but they've got to get it off a front foot carry. When they're getting bowled backwards, that's when charge downs can come, because they're on the front foot.
Goodwin opting to try a sidestep there for attempting to get that ball into touch, but it hasn't done so. The referee blowing his whistle, coming back for the penalty. As if the play is just stagnated rather close to that Royal Navy try line, just for the moment. Now ball goes into touch, and the last play you would suspect in this first half. What opportunity do the Royal Navy have to try and punch their way downfield?
From here, they really need to focus on that clean ball, just clear the line, get the ball back and go in at half-time and reconvene. And yet they're deciding to play the ball. It's an interesting decision when they've been on their, well, in their 22 for the last 5 minutes, so see how it plays for them.
This ball doesn't find touch either. McCabe pulls it back and forward off the hands of Grundy, but it's another penalty. Referee just checking his watch here. Having a word as well with Daisy Fahey and Graham Jenkins. Two crucial leaders in that side.
It's an interesting decision to play on there, Rocky. What would you have done in that position?
I don't know. Like sometimes I'm like, yeah, let's just play, just go quick, and then other times it's like, okay, well, we need to concede and actually get the set piece, but yeah, not. At least they're out of their 22.
Case by case basis.
Very politically answered. Well done. After I gave you a hospital pass.
No pressure whatsoever. Well, it's taken in by the Royal Air Force. Kim Grundy getting that ball. And penalty reversal. Royal Air Force with another opportunity now.
Well, they've been going really well at the Mall. It's an absolute juggernaut if they get it organised and going quick. Perhaps it's their time.
Just how close to the corner has she got that?
That could be really on the money, or it's gone too far. So half-time.
Half-time called by the referee. And as we've been mentioning, we're aware this game here in Northampton is happening exactly the same time as the RAF's very own Amy Kane is on the pitch with her World Cup winning England teammates against Scotland at Murrayfield. A short time ago, England 28-7 points in the lead. Ellie done with a couple of scores. England are the team everyone wants to beat this year, but Flight Lieutenant Kane kicked off the tournament in style by scoring a try to celebrate her 90th cap as England beat Ireland 33-12 at a packed-out Allianz Stadium last week. But before the Women's Six Nations got underway, Julian Evans went along to Pennyhill Park to catch up with the Red Roses hooker and now England vice-captain.
The Army are sponsoring the PWR now, so see the Army everywhere at every game, which I wish was the Air Force, but you know. I think anyone that was involved in women's rugby now would be stupid if they said they weren't, but I'm a fly half trapped in a hooker's body. I've never really had a leadership role in that sense from this England squad. I think everyone else was pretty much pregnant, so scraping the barrel a little bit on that one. My leadership style is a lot more direct compared to the other leaders that we've got. Yeah, she's always asking me like, oh, you're going to be playing in services this year? Unfortunately not.
Flight Lieutenant Amy Kane, World Cup winner. Has that settled in yet?
Oh yeah, I think definitely. I think especially when we got back to playing at club and stuff, that we fell down to earth pretty quickly, but no, it's still pretty cool.
You're quite a grounded person. Did any of your sort of RAF background help that moment sink in that, you know, you always think, right, that's been accomplished, that's been achieved, we move on to the next thing?
Yeah, I guess so. I think it's almost like that, we had that decompression kind of, and you also get that in the military, don't you? You get a bit of decompression. So I think kind of understanding what you've been through, what's happened, and then looking ahead and seeing what's coming next is the thing to do, isn't it, really?
I noticed that you spent a little bit of pocket money on yourself just to have a little bit of ink to celebrate what was a fantastic achievement for England.
Yeah.
Were you persuaded, or you knew straight away that that's what you wanted to do, is have a little tattoo?
Meg and Hannah had gone throughout the whole tournament. Each place we played, they'd got a tattoo, and I liked Hannah's idea. So she had the underground logo, and she'd left it blank. So if we won, she was going to get champions put in there, and I liked that idea. So I went to the tattoo shop going, I'm going to get that as well. And then saw one of the other girls' designs and went, I actually prefer that one. So then ended up with that one instead. But yeah, I kind of thought, why not? I've never had a tattoo before, it's my first, so thought, why not?
England chasing an 8th straight title. For you yourself, is it business as usual? Because there's been a slight changing of the guard since you won the World Cup.
Yeah, I think we've got quite a new group. We've also had some people away. I'm obviously now in the leadership group, which has meant a lot more meetings for myself. But no, it's so nice to get back together as a group. Obviously, we spent quite a lot of time away, so it's always nice to catch up with people. Some of my best friends are in this group, so it's kind of like come to your best friends again. So it's been really good, really nice, and it's obviously a bit fresh as well, so always helps with a new cycle.
they've given you a bit of responsibility. You're one of the vice captains. When you received that news, what were your initial thoughts?
I was obviously excited. I've never really had a leadership role in that sense within this England squad. I think everyone else was pretty much pregnant, so I was scraping the barrel a little bit on that one. But no, I think like me and John have a really good relationship. I know what he wants from me, and I can have that open and honest conversation with him. So yeah, I think it's a good working relationship.
You have, of course, graduated through Cranwell, officer training for the Royal Air Force. That's a big part of leadership. Will you be tapping into some of that experience to help when you're in either camp or on the pitch?
Yeah, I think that my leadership style is a lot more direct compared to the other leaders that we've got, so it can be quite good when decisions need to be made and it needs to be quick. That can definitely help, and I think we balance each other out. Like me, Meg and Alex are all kind of different personalities in that sense, so we kind of have a good cover across the whole board on that.
Yeah, you're a little bit more direct. What are you going to bring then that perhaps is different, and what do you expect from your teammates and your colleagues?
I think just driving standards, like that's one of the big things that I'm really hot on. I guess that's probably military background in that. So yeah, just driving the standards and driving the energy. I think a lot can be said about. You know, we get not trouble, but like when we're doing a bit of clapping people off or waving people off, I think things like that can just spark energy. So a bit of my role will be definitely try and spark some energy.
One of the consistents, or one of those things that's always been with you in this time, in this journey, in this rugby journey, has been the military, hasn't it? Either with your family, or your dad, your brother, and yourself serving. Has that helped you, keep you grounded?
Yeah, I think so, and I think it helps give like a different focus when you need to as well. Obviously, when I went through my training and kind of joined full time, that kind of gave me that space away from the game to really kind of fall back in love with it again. So yeah, I think I definitely wouldn't be where I am rugby-wise if it wasn't for the military, and I probably wouldn't be where I'm military-wise if it wasn't for the rugby. So I think they kind of work together nicely.
The PWR is one that they're hoping to expand. You must welcome that.
Yeah, I definitely think so. I think we need to try and keep the competitiveness of it though. Like we don't want to add more teams and then see the standard drop. I think where we're at the minute, the standard's really high, and that competitiveness. You know, now going to Sale Sharks this year, and we touched fourth for a week. So you know, previously they were bottom of the table, so we can see that competitiveness coming through, and it's not a guarantee on who's top four, where maybe in previous years it was almost a guarantee, you know, at the start of the season who's going to be in that top four. So we definitely don't want to dilute the competitiveness of that either.
Yeah, the rugby world's quite small, and so too is that military world. So you literally have been rubbing shoulders with members of the military as well, including up at Sale, I think.
Yeah, I've got Sophie up with me, Sophie Benevent, who's in the army. So yeah, she's always asking me like, "Oh, you're going to be playing in services this year?" Unfortunately not, could do Six Nations, but yeah, it is nice to have that military. They've obviously, the army are sponsoring the PWR now, so see the army everywhere at every game, which I wish was the Air Force, but you know, me, Bonner, Lucy, even Karis have tried to like put the Air Force out there and kind of taken up space in that world for a little bit, but to see it on a more of a commercial space is good.
Well, look, I haven't got a crystal ball, but if I did, there's been some talk about a Lions tour for women players. Is that something that you're keen to put your hand up and get involved in?
I think anyone that was involved in women's rugby now would be stupid if they said they weren't, but I think it's years away. Anything can happen. Hooker's quite a competitive position as well, so I would be a very good tourist if they want to take me on tour anyway and not play me. But no, obviously I would love to do it, but kind of quite far away at the minute for me.
Yeah, what are you like on tour? Have you let a cat out of the bag there? You say, do you take a guitar? What are your tricks? What do you do on tour to keep morale up?
No, I'm just a good time, do you know what I mean? Just good fun.
Well, that's what they say.
It's a lovely ball. Go on, Amy. Amy Cocaine scores the try, the third try for UCAF.
You do love dotting down for a try or two yourself, although admittedly these days it's close quarters, but you sometimes do appear to be a sort of a frustrated centre, fly half. If you weren't the position that you are now, where would you have liked to have played your rugby career?
Oh, my rugby career. Well, I obviously played that game at 10 for the Air Force the year we won it, so I always joke and say I'm a fly half trapped in a hooker's body, but I'm not sure I would have made it very far as a fly half. Maybe 12, I think they've got it pretty easy, haven't they?
Hello, I'm Badis. I'm a lieutenant. That's what you wanted, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No, you want me to?
Yeah.
I can't do that, can I? Hang on. Did you even get it on the screen?
Hi, I'm Ellie from Marley and I'm going to crush an egg. Oh, no, it's not good. Nah.
Oh wait, my name's Fern and I'm an AB. Hi, I'm Erin. I'm a leading hand.
It's actually hard. Yeah. It's hard.
I'm Libby and I'm an AB.
I did it.
My name's Lucy. I'm an AB. You know.
In my hair.
Welcome back to Cinch Stadium at Franklin's Gardens in Northampton for the first of this Inter-Service Rugby Union Championships clash of 2026. The Royal Air Force 24 points to 0 up over the Royal Navy. It's been fantastic from them so far, and converting many opportunities they've had in that Royal Navy 22. The Royal Navy players marching back out to the halfway mark. The referee Swart marshalling them out there. And Jasmine Abel looking to get the second half underway. We've seen quite a bit from both forwards and the backs in this game so far from both sides. The Royal Navy so far unable to convert the pressure they're trying to exert on the light blues. The ball is towards that 10-metre line, just about making it over. Emily Russell taking this one. Through the hands of the forwards so far. Fahey putting that ball up into the blue sky, only as far as Abel. No stranger to backfield play, playing in the 13 shirt today.
She just got absolutely nailed by Kat Robinson. She kicked it low, charged down, got it back, and then ran into Kat's shoulder. Knock on back on the RAF side. Just coming back for the knock on.
Yeah, running into traffic there. Quite heavy traffic as well. And both packs have shown their willingness to play with ball in hand as well. That's Evie Longworth ready to put this ball into scrum. Of course, Lucy Nye going off into the sin bin before half time. So it's the right winger with the put in.
Look at that
Royal
scrum!
Navy shove.
Brilliant from the Navy.
Rocky Clark very happy once again to see that shove. And a penalty for the light blues.
Well, unfortunately it's the penalty, but I think, you know, when you can get your set piece going and get some opportunity off of that, they've just got to nail the line out, and then they can really, if they can speed up that ball, they can really ask a lot of questions. There's just a few tweaks for the Navy that I think will make a big difference, but you can already see some of them coming in, like, you know, they're kicking a lot more, but just, you know, when to kick, execution of kick, better in the breakdowns, winning their own ball, that sort of thing. They're latching players through the contact.
Comes back off Forbes to Longworth. Makeshift scrum half at the moment. Hughes just up over the 22, but it's a Royal Navy penalty.
Absolutely brilliant by Beth Wilcox. She's got the red bow in her hair, straight over for that jackal, really quick, really brave. And that's what you want from your blindside flanker, just getting that turnover. Somehow an awkward kick, doesn't quite go out. RAF on the counter-attack.
Through Kim Grundy, eventually brought down. Longworth back to Daisy Fahey. They're going to put the boot in. Finding some space in the backfield as well. That ball trickling just towards the corner flag. Bouncing off the side of it. And touchdown eventually as well.
You can see Fahey just playing off that front foot ball. Really, really close to being an incredible kick, and just helped by the corner flag for the Navy to come back.
They talk about the bounce of the ball, don't they? And seen a few examples of that so far today. And cheers from supporters of the Royal Air Force as Captain Lucy Nye comes running back in the field after her stint in the sin bin. Evie Longworth going back to the wing.
I was reading at half-time an interesting fact about Lucy Nye. Apparently she's gone surfing with McFly.
Brilliant fact. Many layers to that fact.
Absolutely.
Big opportunity for Navy. They got this scrum. Can they play off of some decent platform? It's gone down though, typical. Commentator's curse.
Thank you for that, Rocky Clark.
Just a reset, I think. Just going down on that far side. No penalties given though. Referee just having a word, keeping it up.
It's been a bit stop-start this first few minutes of the second half. Scrum eventually gets set. Brightwell just popping that back to Maxwell. Trying to recycle that quickly. But another mistake from the Royal Navy. And the Royal Air Force look to benefit.
That unforced error, isn't it, Charlie, which you've been talking about so often. It doesn't need to happen.
No, and especially there, you're on the ascendancy. You've got really hardly won ball. The forwards are just getting up. And you know what it's like. You get up from a scrum, you look, and you've lost the ball. And just, absolutely, there is no need for that. It's such a shame.
Royal Air Force will look to get going where they left off in the first half. Try and pile more pressure on the scoreboard. 24 points, the deficit for the Navy to answer to right now.
There's real glimmers. This is what I'm trying to look at. The Navy have made such progression since last year. The conditions are different, absolutely. But there's some real glimpses of fantastic play, but it's sewing it all together. That's, I think, what's letting them down at the moment. It's frustrating. You can probably tell in my voice. For everyone listening, I'm Army, but just to see the Navy games, but now it's just bringing it together.
Doing those final pieces in the jigsaw, isn't it? That killer instinct at the end as well, being clinical, but Just water coming on and a bit of medical attention. We'll pass over to John Knighton. Some social media comments coming through.
Yeah, so loads of messages coming through. Let's say hi to Tammy Marsh today, who's saying hi, so proud of my niece Bethany Wilcox. Go Farhay, watching from Devon while physioing for Totnes. Love your mum, that's Joe Tucker. Also a big message, so loads of messages coming in from the Falklands. And also a shout out, I think, to Kat Robinson. 5 months ago she was having a baby. And little Hugo is here, and he's wearing her shirt apparently, so that's really great news as well. All the messages that we're getting through, and even a special mention for you, Si, as well, from a big fan, JJ, says, I love the man's voice. Yeah, we join him as well, but he asked me to, you've got to pay him some money to say that.
Well, I'll speak to him afterwards. That man, JJ, always clicking his fingers, plenty of ideas, that boy. So it'll be interesting to chat. But thank you for those comments, wherever you may be. And as you say, little Hugo wearing the shirt as well. Kat Robinson, never too young to start, eh, Rocky Clark?
Absolutely, and I quite agree with JJ. You've got a lovely voice. Can put you on a bedtime story, send you off to sleep.
Is that how boring I am, is it?
Yeah, well, there is that too. It's a bit awkward, but we march on.
You're sitting right beside me and No Way Out with Charlie Maxwell on the other side, so be careful.
I'm not sure who I'm backing up at this point, Si.
I've seen with 2 forwards, so better be careful.
Well, back to the rugby. Come to a set piece.
And lo and behold, it's still 24-0 to the Royal Air Force. Royal Navy line out here. Pull back on the light blue side. Emily Russell hitting that gain line. Fahy looking to loop that ball round. Annie Forbes this time, bouncing off a few defenders. Very nice offload as well to Graham Jenkins. Rose Dixon trying to jackal that, bounce it back, but Proctor lays it back. Kat Robinson here in action now. Well stolen.
What a steal.
It's El Bithell pulling that ball back for the Navy. Maxwell to Kafoa.
That's what you want to see. Kafoa on the ball, on the charge. But look, we've slowed it down for half hour before it gets out. RAF are getting off the line, hitting back behind. Swain is doing a great job, to be fair, being able to weather the storm.
Nicely done, and Maxwell going backwards, as is Rose Dixon, hammered by Annie Forbes.
Should get a bit of a hospital pass then, thanks very much. Boom, look at that, good leg drive. 2 players in, let's go.
Pick up that tempo of the Royal Navy. Ball coming over the top, and Grundy watching it onto her boot. Ball spills just off the boot, the referee says. And through Amy Pusick, Royal Navy hooker this time taking it.
She's had some great carries, put some speed onto the ball, but look at all those metres they made when they had quick ball. People running hard with intent. You saw White there.
That's very good from Kim Grundy, herring through as she saw some space. Oh, and an opportunity here, grubbering through. Kim Grundy, can she collect with the try line in sight? Kim Grundy with that pace is not going to be stopped from there, and another score for the Royal Air Force.
That was a great display of individual skill there, picking that ball up under pressure. It's just some real glimpses of the Navy actually fighting hard, but it's the speed they're playing at. They're slowing their own ball down, giving the RAF chance to set, putting themselves under pressure again. And sadly, the RAF will capitalise on that all day. Tactically, they are extremely astute with the skill set to actually go through, and what a great try.
Nice bit of symmetry for Kim Grundy this time last year, scoring at the other end. Bit of a breakaway play there as well. And just so dangerous in open play.
Yeah, she is. Clean set of heels, and it was Fox who just misfielded that. But they will capitalise on errors, which we've seen all day. But apart from that, not a bad start. 12 minutes without being scored against.
Well, the RAF breached the 30-point mark with that conversion from Daisy Fahey. 31 points to nil the lead. Just over 50 minutes played at Cinch Stadium. And they continue on their merry way, the Light Blues. Daisy Fahey's been so important for this Royal Air Force side the last couple of seasons. Also, we saw how well she did for the UK Armed Forces, coming third in the International Defence Rugby competition last year. A bit of a change now for the Royal Air Force. Ella Johnson coming on, scored a try in this fixture last year. Taking it again, the Light Blues. Abel coming on to that, not quite getting control of it. Squirting into touch. Nice work from Kat Robinson coming off the field. What a day it is for her. Little baby Hugo. Wonderful little kit. And the earmuffs as well. It's a loud atmosphere out there.
Just wonder what Navy can do to try and slow down this attack that's getting some momentum now.
Throw again on debut, performing very nicely indeed. Fahey trying to get this over the head of Jasmine Abel, bouncing back infield.
Is that not a knock? Yeah, it was a knock on. I thought it looked like a little bit, but that's the difference. Really strong carry, throw up the middle, boom, quick kick from Fahey, possibly going for the 50-22, but either way, if there wasn't that little fumble, they'd have got the ball back. And that just shows some real class management from Fahey.
Fahey and Graham Jenkins, 9, 10, 12 today. Nucleus for the Royal Air Force, really showing its class. Back to go for the penalty.
Yeah, you could see on that last scrum the angle as the RAF went in there at 45 degrees, but the whole front row, and picked up by the touch judge. So Navy come back, but it was a nice little kick from White, and she got away from it. Maybe not as good this one. But they got the ball. They just need to win it. Last time RAF just had a player waiting to intercept the ball. Need to go up and over those players.
Just over halfway, this line out.
Just to quickly update you, Amy Cockayne has just got a try for England. They now lead by 42 points to 7. So an RAF scorer up at Murrayfield as well. Couldn't be better for England today.
Fantastic news. Brilliant for Amy Cockayne, and wonderful piece we saw at half-time. Julian Evans speaking to the flight lieutenant. And great news. Thank you, John. Well, Holly Cole thought she saw some space and then rather tracked back when she realised it wasn't. Daisy Fahey now trying to get as close to the corner as she can with that kick. Getting over into the 22 of the Royal Navy. Janelle Hughes going to collect the ball. A lovely day for rugby as well. Team players on both sides enjoying good handling conditions.
That was not straight. Okay, I thought he'd let that go. And I was like, she caught it on the outside of her arm.
Ahead of the ref there.
Yeah. I think, it's my glasses. I need to check that and see the referee.
I think seeing things beautifully today, Rocky.
Yeah, I'm not sure how after I've just done a 3-day bike ride for charity, 250k. Just got off it yesterday, so I've waddled up the stairs somehow today. That was not a treat, I have to say, but we march on, and that was for construction sport, and delighted to be here today, bringing you all the action.
Wonderful bike ride and incredible endurance as well, Rocky. Of course, we remember when you arrived at Kingsholm last year, back for another absolutely huge cycle. And that was for the RAF Army Games, the third and final weekend of the Inter-Service Championships 2025.
Well, it's so important. I'm not a cyclist. I'm like a potato in lycra on a bike, but somehow I think I just got the mindset just to keep pushing and raising funds for those in need, mental health-wise, for MMD as well. So big things that mean a lot to me.
Congratulations, and absolutely excellent stuff.
It's the second time they've used that.
Freya Gracie not quite getting things right. Free kick for the Royal Navy. The Royal Air Force men's side just arriving. Of course, the men's game we have after this, 4 o'clock, live in the BFBS Forces News YouTube channel. It's a rip-roaring game between the two sides last year. We approach the hour mark in the first of today's clashes. 31 points to nil, the Royal Air Force lead the Royal Navy.
Some good tempo coming in here from the Navy. And it looks like White has stepped into first receiver. Look at that, pace coming on, good. Now they go again.
Absolute rocket to Amy Pussick, which she took well. Hitting the line at pace, as you say. Oh, and coming over very close. McCabe trying to hair onto that and getting the ball just on this side of the try line. Can she make the try line? But the ref calls him back. A moment there, she thought she was in business.
I feel like he whispered into his whistle there, so she just carried on. It was like,
I think you wanted to watch that.
I always say, play to the whistle, but then you're like, well, there was a really clear knock on. Surely it's not going to get missed that badly, but it wasn't. But I see some changes coming on now.
Some changes in that Royal Air Force front row.
Big smiles as Gracie and Russell come off, and both of them got through loads of work. Gracie getting the try, and Russell with some really bulldozing carries, along with Gracie's work rate and physicality. Outstanding game from those two.
In their place, Elise Fletcher, who was a try scorer in 2025 between these two sides, and Ella Scarf as well on debut. Fantastic to see her lining out in light blue colours. Thrown out to Flo Mullett. Nice footwork, but well done by Fro. Hunted her down and took her over the line.
Nice little switch up there from the Navy, coming blind rather than going, and I feel they've made quite decent ground from that, about 15 yards. Good switch in tactics.
We talk about that WWE move from Frau. Wow. My goodness, she absolutely shot her off the pitch. She'd make it in the wrestling world.
Yeah, we see more and more of that recently. We saw it earlier in this game. As Mullett takes the ball, just manages to stay in play.
That was some brilliant work on the ground there to actually stay in. How close to the line, and the RAF trying their very best to get her out then.
Mistake Ball just being knocked forward. The hands of Elle Bithell.
That's outstanding. Flo Mullet again. She looks like she's skydiving as she's spinning herself round. She's got about a millimetre before her knee goes out, and she manages to keep it in. Fair play. She took the ball, got absolutely munched, spun herself round, and they kept the ball. Not bad.
Not bad at all. We do note how many of these players are multi-sports representatives for
She's
their
a
sides.
skydiver.
If she didn't think about it before today, she may be thinking about it now, Rocky Clark.
Not sure there's much call for that in the Navy, but the other two services might be interested.
Trying to break barriers and be a pioneer. Just waiting for the scrum to reset. Stiff enough breeze here in Northampton today. Hasn't affected the kicking too much of Daisy Fahey. Their team 31-0 up.
The Navy have made a much better demonstration of their capability in the second half. So we're 22, 23 minutes in, only one score for the RAF. And they're playing in a much better area of the pitch, albeit it's still in their own half right now. But it's a much more even split of the game this second half.
Yeah, completely agree. They're playing with faster ball. They're showing a bit more skill set, keeping the ball well, just a bit more possession.
Celebrations there, winning of that penalty for the Royal Air Force, and an opportunity here for those forwards to let their power be felt. Fletcher just on in the front row. Tyler Lewis in that multicoloured scrum cap, edging forward to lift up Annie Forbes, who takes the ball cleanly. Try and get a maul going. The ball goes to ground.
That was actually good Navy defence that pulled that, that took that maul to ground then. They didn't go up, they were actually just waiting for the line out. Great decision there.
Ever closer they go to the try line. Can they make it count, this pressure? These phases are going through, trying to get the ball over the top, out to McCabe, and just spilling into touch. And with that, Kath Brazier is joined by an injured player on the RAF side, Daisy Aspinall.
Well, I'm within the very happy, I'm sure, RAF camp at the moment. Daisy, I know you're on long injury leave at the moment. Frustrating to not be playing?
Yeah, so frustrating, but happy to still have this supporting role at the moment. Being in doing a couple jobs around the place still keeps me in the loop with the girls. So yeah, just happy to be here, stay at the moment, but yeah.
Pleased with how things are going. It's a good scoreline, but maybe a few things cards and stuff like that you wouldn't have wanted?
Yeah, obviously getting a playmaker sent off for high tackle was never ideal, but I think we adapted really well as a squad. I think we've probably had a few missed opportunities, scoring wise, and when we've been in the 22. But again, I think, like we have now, when we've been turned over, we've switched straight into defence mode, and yeah, couldn't ask for more at this stage, really.
I know Lucy spoke a bit about last year you felt you let yourself down in this fixture, and we all know that Navy are in a building phase, but actually it's really important that you keep up your end of the bargain and keep up your sort of skills as well.
Yeah, no, 100%, and I think in camp and on game days especially, it's all about us. Like, no matter who we're playing, no matter what the score is, so like 31-0 up now, it's always like we're nil-nil, and we're going to show them what we've got, because that's the kind of team that we are.
Okay, and just for all those Daisy Aspinall fans out there, when are we going to see you back on a rugby pitch?
Aiming for Prem Cup, so hopefully September, October time, but hopefully, fingers crossed.
Great, thanks very much, Daisy. We'll see you soon. Thank you.
See you soon.
Well, the Royal Navy players celebrating there with the penalty. Shunt the RAF back.
Thanks,
both
Daisy.
sides during the game as well. Get those insights. The sort of things that they're looking for. Players, of course, Daisy Aspinall will be delighted to see what her teammates are doing. Some replacements for the Royal Air Force just about to come on. Danica Wilmore and Keris McNevin. Wilmore coming on, vastly experienced, 17 caps for the Royal Air Force. Another member of that Royal Air Force side who was victorious in 2019 in the tournament. Elle Bithell trying to weave her way around that light blue defence.
She's had such an impact when she's come on. She's handed off her own players to look to carry her. Kafa'oa just really grabbing the ball by the scruff of the neck and getting that go forward. Look, she's back into it again. Got a reception committee welcoming her, but she still managed to get over the gain line.
And a chance for Keris McNevin to get early hands on the ball. Just come on. Chip over the top from Fahey, but RAF blows the whistle. And,
right, so some really good stuff from Navy. They had some great carries, and then they just kicked right in the middle of the pitch, which is so far to get to touch. So tactically, you're probably going to be working on trying to get to the 15-metre lines as well.
absolutely, and just as the players take a break, head down the gantry to John Knighton to update us with some more social media comments.
Yeah, cheers, Si. Yeah, loads more messages to do. Little one here, Ian Smith says, come on, Ella Scarf, making her debut, having just finished her training for the RAF. Great career ahead of her. Little mention here, Joe Coombs, proud mama watching from South Wales, cheering on Tyler Lewis. Abel Cadet Harvey helping today. Lots of love from all the team, from Maria Lucia Sears, that's come on the Navy. And also, let's have another one here as well. I can hear my brother shouting Bethany's name. That's Tammy Marsh. Loads of messages. Keep them coming in. And of course, we love to hear from you wherever you are watching our coverage today live here on our Forces News YouTube channel.
Thank you very much, John. And, some changes. Annie Forbes coming off the field for the Royal Air Force. Leonie Mann is on. And Philippa Griffiths on for the Royal Navy. With Pusin coming around the corner, which is very nicely worked. Slick is the number 9's footwork. But ball just spills forward. The ref says play on. And through once more to Tyler Lewis, trying to bounce off defenders as she approaches the 22. And through the back, very nice as well. Graham Jenkins and Orla Proctor with the handoffs. Past Rose Dixon, trying to get that offload through to Graham Jenkins. Just secures the ball on the ground. And straight down, and penalty very quickly taken. Jameson Gibson Park style by Lucy Nye, but ref calls her back.
You can see Nye was raging, and she'd done the quick tap. She was away, she was through, 5 points. And then the head kicked back as the referee's whistle goes.
Sniping around the side, Lucy Nye, fantastic pace she has, not just in her passing, but around the side of those rucks. As a defender, you've always got your work cut out. Around about 10 minutes to go in this fixture, and it's Royal Navy 0, Royal Air Force 31 at Cinch Stadium at Franklin's Gardens in Northampton. And players from both of the men's sides watching on as well. We'll be bringing you that game live as well, of course, the BFBS Forces News YouTube channel. All 6 fixtures in this competition live with us. Keep your comments coming in. Let us know where you're watching from. Just getting a bit of attention here. Hopefully okay. As the medics get about their work. What an occasion, Rocky Clark. And good to see people from everywhere, really. Families, and friends. rugby fans as well from Northampton and further afield in this storied stadium.
It's absolutely brilliant just to get these wonderful stadiums and lots of fans coming through the gates, and we're seeing record crowds or record-breaking crowds for each game. I believe you said earlier that we're good ticket sales, so make sure you get them, and if you can be here over the next few weeks, it's going to really spice up, and a great start. RAF have got their campaign going really well from the women's side, and Navy are showing huge improvements and just wanting to bridge that gap a little bit further. It'd be really nice if they could get a score on the board, but they're starting to play with a little bit more tempo now and asking a lot more questions, so we shall see. Still 10 minutes left.
And we've seen quite a range of tries as well, Charlie Maxwell in this game so far. And good to see it's been an all-round performance, forwards and backs, from the Royal Air Force so far. Of course, keeping that clean sheet with just a matter of under 8 minutes to go.
Yeah, it's been another comprehensive display of the Air Force's dominance in this fixture, and it is good to see that the Navy have progressed since last year. There's lots of tactical progression, and it's made it a really decent game. But the RAF absolutely are in control of this game and are demonstrating some fantastic skill levels, and also the strength in the depth that they've got in the squad. I mentioned it earlier in that some of the names you'd expect to see in this squad that actually have been pushed out by the new caps coming in, and that's fantastic. That progression, that rollover, the new players coming in, squad depth, brilliant. Some of the individual play as well that we've seen. So the try from the pick-up, sorry, I'm struggling because I can't remember the player's name. The pick-up just outside basically, and straight over.
Wasn't it, at the time?
Thank you for saving me there, Si. Yeah, absolutely fantastic demonstration of individual skill. The pick-up, the strength to carry on and get it over that line with great try.
Oh, fantastic to watch. Kim Grundy, and through the field as well. And at this stage, we turn to Rocky Clark to let us know not just the player of the match, but also the play of the match from all the fantastic action we've seen so far.
Yeah, we've had some real exciting players that have just put their hands up. So I want to give some special mentions. Thought Gracie went really, really well in that front row. Lewis as well, got him onto that scoreboard early doors, carried phenomenally, and Kat Robinson and back row, Newby, Fro and Forbes. You've got a pack like that and a speed of ball from Nye, but somebody's really stood out, really managed the game really well. And now our player of the match goes to Daisy Farhay. Brilliant kick in, great carrier with the ball, keeping the ball alive and doing the right thing at the right time and making the RAF play effortlessly. Then we've got our play of the match.
Yeah, so it's the sadly it started off with a Navy mistake down on their 22 with a line out. RAF RAF 22. RAF capitalised, picked the ball up. Great midfield play, quick hands, getting the ball from right to left and scored up in the left-hand corner. Absolutely fantastic try by, I think, McCabe on their first try of the game.
Well, we're just waiting as the medical staff do the necessary duties at the moment. Player down, and the crowd takes in what they've seen so far. Just a matter of minutes really from the final whistle in this match. Royal Air Force exerting their pressure and dominating a lot of those one-percenters, as they'd say. They've played very well today so far. McCabe, what a debut for her it's been. Kim Grundy, as you mentioned as well, coming through that breakaway try. So dangerous in open space. And Tyler Lewis, my word.
Tyler Lewis, absolute wrecking ball, and that's what you want. Plays for Bath, fifth cap, strong workhorse, big carrier. But honestly, you look down this list and all of these players have really put their hands up. Hughes getting through work, Russell, Skilling, just, you know, you've got to really be happy with what they've given them. And Graham Jenkins as well, just got through her work, just enabling Proctor to get some decent carries. And Grundy, though, absolute weapon out in full back as well. So yes, so many of them putting their hands up.
You mentioned Charlie Maxwell, some of the change that you've seen from the Royal Navy since their campaign in 2025. Now that we're almost approaching full-time whistle, how would you sum up their performance?
Just going to take 10 seconds to phrase it. It's exciting to see what they could achieve. So it's looking at the potential of the players they've now got and the glimpses of play that they've put together during this game. But I think for me it's the consistency. They need to bring together the basic skills that keep letting them down at small points and putting the RAF into really dangerous areas of the pitch, and then the tactical decision making. So if you're going to execute the kick, make sure you actually capitalise. And so, you know, if you've taken the ball back into your own 22, don't kick it out on the full. And I know it sounds, you know, a small thing, but it's actually critical because it's putting the RAF straight into the danger areas.
Yeah, and that happened on more than one occasion, so you've got to learn by it. But look at this penalty move.
Right off the training ground, this. Coming through the hands and working beautifully as Johnson comes through. Nye once more trying to spread that as quickly as she can out to Fahy. Orla Proctor so close to the whitewash. The Harlequin star. Fahy once more. And Ella Johnson. Out it comes to Wilmore. Can she power herself over the line? Just inches short this time. Out it comes and down it goes, forward it goes. One of the Navy players just going off the field there. Wish her well and hope it's nothing too serious. The medical staff doing all they can.
Blimey, that was such a quick strike. The ball shot out the back of that scrum, but well picked up and driven forward up to the 5.
Royal Navy trying to play across their own try line. Enterprising but daring. Like it comes off the boot, a spiral into touch. There's minutes to go in this fixture.
There was a great show of them absolutely getting it bang on there. So bringing it up to the 15, working it back. So safe ball back to the kicker and a safe kick out to touch to get the ground back. So it's bits like that where they've got the right idea and the execution is in the squad. It's just repeating that every time they wish to do it.
Well, the biggest thing, under pressure, right? Because when you've got a really good team with line speed and they're flying at you, making late hits or getting woman and ball, you've got to be able to do that under that pressure, and that was perfect. But it's taken until the 80th minute on our stadium clock that they need to be doing this right for the word go.
Up in the air it goes towards Longworth. And goes through her into touch. Try and take it quickly, do the Royal Air Force. Trying to pounce on that ball and mistake rather from Kim Grundy.
Well, that was interesting. Lucy Nye knew that somebody couldn't dive on that ball and she was screaming at her to come back, but quick tap here as the Navy march on.
Ellie Brightwell, the captain. How quick can they make this ball as Leica Swain tries to peel round the side and pirouetting round those defenders. Up to the 22 now, the Royal Navy. Brightwell again trying to lead by example. Dixon with the clear out. Moving it round, it's Philippa Griffiths. Not long onto the pitch. Maxwell again. Assessing her options. Can they break through here, the Royal Navy? Are there any gaps in that Royal Air Force defence that they can expose? go through the phases. Ball retention critical here.
Tuvu, great carries. Look at the leg drive on her. Made a big impact. Great carries already. Only been on for a few moments. But speed of ball. Come on, guys. Got to be quicker. Great punch up by Brightwell again.
The ball has spilled, but nevertheless, it's a penalty.
This time we're going tap, 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 tap.
Where's that quick ball, Rocky Clark? Just getting seen to medical attention again. Gives the Royal Navy a little second or two to assess their options.
They've definitely been missing Jess Bryan today, haven't they? A real big ball carrier and somebody who, like, she starts off at 8, goes to second row, front row, and then is kicking. And I think we saw her do a line-out throw as well, didn't we, last year? She's the woman of all trades.
She can do it all.
She's the one-woman band of rugby.
Complete all-rounder.
Yeah, when they're trying to get that quick ball and punch through the gain line, Jess Bryan has been key for them. Not an action, as you mentioned, today, of course. Georgia Lang comes on for the Royal Air Force. Sarah Graham-Jenkins makes her way off. And Rebecca Addis, or Baddis as she likes to be known, comes on for the Royal Navy.
I just wonder if they're setting up for a little penalty move.
Another training ground move, maybe.
Maybe. I don't know if there's some coaching going on as they're on there telling them what to do, but we shall see. Oh,
surely not.
No, it's just going down. It's a scrum. They've had a great scrum all day. This is the one that's going to really count. Can they get that decent shift on?
I was going to say, I'd certainly back the Navy scrum from here, and it creates the space for the backs, hopefully, to run a move. So it potentially gives them the best chance.
Can they break their duck in this game at the Royal Navy? Right, the ball comes. Griffiths this time trying to dummy inside. Griffiths for the line. Griffiths stretching, and Griffiths scores. A try for the Royal Navy. Right at the end of this match. And look at the delight on their faces. Ellie Brightwell, the captain, spinning off, and absolutely delighted are they.
Well, referees giving it. There's a few people arguing, was it dropped? But who cares? It was a try for the Navy as she went through. Griffiths backed herself, and the pace that went through. And that was what I think everybody wanted to see. Navy for their hard-earned efforts. Charlie, how did you find it?
I have to say I was extremely happy that the Navy have actually got a score in this game. They deserve it in this second half. The RAF have played amazingly, certainly not taking anything away from the Light Blues. But the Navy have put up a stalwart defence. They've learned over the course of this 80-minute game. And this second half has been quite exciting to watch them tactically develop, play in different parts of the pitch, and they definitely deserve that score. What a fantastic try for them.
Well, we're just going to see if the extras are going to be added.
Which they are. And delight for the Royal Navy. Great to see what it means to them. And what it means also to the support. Those of them in the crowd today in Northampton. First of two mouth-watering clashes in this Inter-Service Rugby Union Championship 2026. Ball goes high in the air. And slices off the outside of the boot, rather. But a bit of a mistake there, this time from Keris McNevin.
Yeah. Hands on her face. She's like, oh, man. We've all done it, love. Don't worry about it.
You just know how it feels, don't you?
Yeah. You're like, damn it. But on to the next thing.
Addis with the throw to her skipper. Ref not happy. Another scrum forming here. Will it be one to have Charlie Maxwell and Rocky Clark purring this time?
Well, I'm impressed. Swain is still going strong. Putting a hell of a shift in today.
She's tough. Very powerful player, Swain.
As you say, the stadium clock is showing 87 minutes at the moment, and it's pretty hot out there. 16, 17 degrees today, so still front row on the park from the first kickoff. Impressive.
Look at the angle the RAF are going in at. But Navy are just managing to weather it. I personally would have called that as a penalty, but there we go. What do I know?
And Fahy fired that off right side shoulder. Just went into space. Nye down the blind side, Nye. And Orla Proctor on the wing. Can she bounce off defenders? Getting into that 22. Nye wrestling that ball back. But holding on, and the referee calling penalty as well.
That's a lovely handoff for Proctor. She catapulted her way up that far sideline, but just isolated with that break.
Yeah, very. And what I was actually impressed with there, so the RAF break was absolutely fantastic, but seeing the Navy coming back, getting themselves onside after what was a fast break by Orla Proctor in the 80th minute of the game, just shows genuinely how far Navy Rugby's come. That pride in their shirt, what they've been working on, and the fitness level of the entire 15 on the park at the moment, that was impressive.
Addis firing that ball in. El Bithell made an impact since she came on, as you said, Rocky. Here comes to Marley. Rose Dixon coming in, but another penalty.
Too tempting for the RAF there to steal it out of her hands. Knee was already on the floor, so they had to release.
Griffiths into touch. Not quite a crowd catch. Bounced off the hands of one woman and into another's. Marley coming to Addis just to talk some tactics. Up quickly, Brightwell. Through it comes. Dixon this time, trying to ship it out. That's Wilcox.
Just saw Fahy in that breakdown, just bowling through. I think she could play flanker, if I'm honest. She was counter-rucking till the cows came home, taking out players. Great skill set.
And she'll have ball in hand here. Another penalty for the Royal Air Force.
Just bigged her up now. She can't spoon this, otherwise it's going to be horrendous.
That was either a reverse commentator's curse or a commentator's curse in advance.
Well, lucky for me, it's not a bad kick. It's not a best, but it's not a bad one.
Pretty sure it's better than I could have done.
Might have gone behind me.
It passes your approval, does it?
Well, it hit touch, so that's the first one, right?
Wilmore with ball in hand. Now out to Fahy. Johnson once again trying to punch through the middle is Johnson. Can they stop her before the try line? Offloading beautifully to Fro. RAF players taking it in turns to pile in and push her forward. Momentum taking her so close to the line. But it's the Royal Navy who have the ball again. And a play off their own try line.
She certainly doesn't want to try and kick out from there. Surely not with the post in front. Ooh, wow.
That's
well, it went through.
indeed it did. And Keris McNevin now trying to ship that ball out to the wing to find Orla Proctor. Lovely handoff a minute ago. Bouncing off the player this time, Fahy. Trying to regain their momentum now, the Royal Air Force. Tyler Lewis. She's been a favourite recipient all day of Lucy Nyes.
Lewis and Brightwell, great match up there. I look forward from here, but what can I say?
It's Leonie Mann. Coming again now into the hands of Jordan Brown. And Wilmore. Ball's still there for the Light Blues. Darting run from Lucy Nye before she's brought down. An advantage coming as well. Who's coming through right now? Jordan Brown, so close to line, getting over there. Has it been held up?
That was good defence in terms of getting bodies underneath, but they've given away the penalty, I think, for an offside.
Quick tap by Nye. Moving out, Fahey now. Shipping it to Proctor. Out it comes, quick ball once more for the Royal Air Force. Out it comes, and this time, Keris McNevin. Just touched over, it's Fro. What a game she has had. Fantastic awareness as well. And an absolutely brilliant debut for Ella Fro.
Yeah, the support there from 1 to 15 of the RAF players, just attacking that Navy line. Navy defence, as Rocky said, on point and a really hard fight, but what a try. Using the hands, using the space, and then just dabbing it down. And to be fair, the Navy on a few occasions, that just outside the contact area, they've left space, and the RAF have picked up on that and just dabbed it down, but great try.
Great vision from the youngster to see that little gap. That's how I scored most of my tries, to be honest, just a little plop over. Prop plop, as they used to say.
All of mine were from the 50 yards.
Of course, of course.
Breakaway
100.
Prop plop. Somehow I don't think that's a name that will catch on, but yes, that's describes exactly what it is. And Fahey misses that conversion, but nevertheless, a jubilant win for the Royal Air Force, 36 points to 7. The players running off from the touchline onto the centre of the field. Big hugs all around, high fives. What a wonderful scene for the Light Blues. Sian Williams and her team, backroom team, will be absolutely delighted, Rocky Clark, with what they've witnessed today from players 1 to 23.
Absolutely, they're the full outfit, aren't they? The all-court game, they've got the right people making the decisions, executing, getting the ball wide when it's on, and then the big carriers through that pack who've got over that gain line, like we said earlier. The back row, Lewis really standing up, and then Fahey Nye getting that ball out wide. And we saw Proctor do a lot of carries, and Grundy really asking a lot of questions, so it's brilliant for the RAF.
Very similar to last year, Charlie Maxwell as well, when we saw the Royal Air Force winning 36 points to 10. And laying down a marker once again this time. They know what they've got in store next in a few weeks' time in Kingsholm.
Yeah,
but right now, we've got Kath Brazier down pitch side with Daisy Fahey, player of the match.
From you, Daisy. Okay, we're just going to wait a bit. I will now say that we have the Babcock Player of the Match, Daisy Fahey, and also co-captain Daisy. A really strong innings from you today and a really good win for the RAF.
I mean, you could have given me 5 minutes to get my breath back, do you know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, look, we have some things we've got to work on, definitely. We had a game plan, I think we stuck to it. I couldn't be proud of the girls, especially the new caps. And yeah, this team is something special, and I can't wait to win the whole championship. So
that's the thing, it wasn't a flawless performance, no. And you'll need to be on your game against the Army, obviously.
Yeah, definitely. I think we all know there's some things we need to fix a little bit, but yeah, you can't knock that performance 36-7, so yeah, I'm pretty happy with that, and I'm sure all the girls are, and I'm pretty proud of them. So
it was a pretty tough second half because the sort of Navy came back, they were stronger in the second half. How important was it to get that final try? I know you didn't get your kick over, but the try for the team just to sort of finish off in a positive way.
Yeah, I think that win did me dirty a little bit there. No, yeah, literally, like, we just want to get that momentum keep going, and then hopefully when we come back next week we're playing Ealing, and then we just keep building and building, and then yeah, fire into the Army. So yeah, looking forward to it.
That's the thing, you got a bit of a break now. Does that help that you don't have your next game in the next couple of weeks? Got a bit of a break, bit of a breather? Any knocks can be looked after?
I think it might be good for a couple of the girls. Hope to get everyone back fully fit, but no, it'll be nice. We got just a week off and then we're back into camp. So yeah, I think everyone just needs a nice week off, don't they?
Brilliant, congratulations on your player of match. Go and celebrate your team.
Thank you. Cheers.
Once we're off, I'll grab a find on here.
No worries, no worries. So well from the number 10 shirt today.
Yeah, we've said throughout the game that the RAF really, in this fixture, are an absolute cut above. The Navy are closing the gap slightly, but I think essentially the RAF are also doing really well, developing their players. The amount now playing civilian rugby outside of inter-services rugby really shows the skill level of all of the teams increasing. It's just the gap is so wide between the services at the moment. The real game will be on the Army RAF. That will be the closest of the 3 inter-service fixtures, taking place in Gloucester on the 16th of May. But it's great to see the tactical advance that the Navy are making in their understanding of the game. Now, as we've been saying throughout this game, it's the understanding, it's the delivery that needs to happen on the pitch, under pressure. But that sounds like I'm taking it away from the RAF. I'm not. Their demonstration today has been a cut above their opposition. They deserve this fixture, they deserve the win, and they deserve to celebrate this fixture.
A colossal clash coming up for the Navy, of course, before the Royal Air Force take on the Army. Army-Navy, Allianz Stadium, Twickenham, Rocky Clark in a couple of weeks' time. What do the Navy need to think about with that progress? You mentioned Charlie Maxwell, but Rocky, what do they need to get right and to try and improve then in the next couple of weeks?
Well, if I was coaching, I would be looking at making the right decisions at the right time and execution of them. So, you know, you want to be kicking on that front foot, but one really, really easy fix, which I rabbited on about all day today, is the speed of ball. They need to play on the front foot. It's hard for defenders to get line speed, to get off and make massive hits if they're going backwards and the ball's in hands quickly. So it's about sorting out their line out, making sure they're on the front foot, and then being able to execute all of these.
Commemorative coins for the players coming from the presentation party. And quite a few dignitaries in that presentation party. John Nyson right out in the field, showing, of course, how important these fixtures are. And, well, it's been a special game for both sets of players. The Royal Navy scoring that try towards the end. And lining out there as well. There were hugs all around from those players. But we've got John now. John Nyson with us. And presentation party just handing out those commemorative coins, John. We were saying that it just shows the magnitude of this clash.
It really does, yeah. And of course, the Molly Rose Trophy is the trophy that they've been playing for today, and so that will be presented very shortly. Player of the match presentation, as you said, going to Daisy, presented by Mary Watkins and Paul McClurg from Babcock, with the match officials presented as well by Sarah Oakley, the chair of Royal Navy Rugby Union. And the medals now being presented, the losers medals being presented by the losing president, who is of course Vice Admiral Steve Morehouse, and the president, and I think it's going to be from what I can see there, yeah, the winners' medals are going to be presented by Sarah Oakley very shortly. But isn't it great that there is actually a trophy at stake for all the games, not just obviously for the inter-services? I think that's really important.
Absolutely. And speaking of all the games, we see the men's Royal Navy players and the Royal Air Force as well lining out for some warm-ups. That game coming up very quickly off the back of this one. 4 o'clock coverage on the BFBS Forces News YouTube stream live with us. Don't go anywhere. Of course, that will be coming up very, very soon indeed. Just not long after this presentation, as the Royal Air Force women's players look eagerly towards the trophy, that Molly Rose Trophy, as you said, John, and stepping forth to collect their commemorative coins as well.
Maybe a quick mention as well for Flo Mullett, who of course we lost her to the pitch earlier on. She had to be taken off on a stretcher. We wish her well and hope for a speedy recovery. It's not nice, is it, to see an extended break like that when a player is receiving, but the treatment that she was getting on the pitch was absolutely fantastic, and I did see her wave her hand as she was leaving, so that's an encouraging sign. But Flo, get well soon, and I'm sure that that message goes out to all her family.
Absolutely. Here, John, and hope she recovers well. And John, also a word on the support that these players receive all around the world, which is clear, of course, through our comments on our YouTube live stream through the day.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've got messages, loads. I mean, I could have just spent the whole day reading messages out, actually. But D. Boyle 7545 watching from Calgary in Canada. Charlie Murray says, great shift, Annie Forbes. Crafty Scouser watching my niece, RAF 21 Ella Johnson from Devon, heading to Gloucester in a few weeks' time to see the RAF play the Army. And you know, there's so many messages, and of course they're all there for you to see on YouTube as well for the live coverage. So thanks indeed to all of you who've taken the time to give us a message this afternoon. And of course, we're only halfway through, aren't we? Because we've got the men's game to follow.
Thank you very much, John. As the trophy lift comes into view here, Daisy Fahey and Lucy Nye lifting it. Celebrations, champagne sprayed as well, with the Royal Air Force players absolutely jubilant and jumping up and down after their wonderful victory here at Cinch Stadium in Northampton. What a start to the day, Rocky Clark.
Yeah, great display by the RAF, and as we've already said, Navy just making waves. And some fantastic rugby. The stadium is absolutely bopping. The girls are still celebrating. Love your moment there, ladies. You've earned it, and it should be a cracking night as well, I'd have thought.
Well, it's been an absolute privilege and pleasure to have the three of you alongside me. Rocky Clark, Charlie Maxwell, John Nyson. And we'll see you very, very soon. Of course, on the YouTube side of things, don't forget the men's coverage live on the BFBS Forces News YouTube channel. 4 o'clock, we'll see you there. And we look forward to having your company once more. Bye-bye.